Severe geomagnetic storm. In today's world, the occurrence of severe solar storms often raises concerns and reflections about their potential significance in the context of biblical prophecy and end times. This connection is particularly intriguing for those who study eschatology, the part of theology concerned with the final events in the history of the world or the ultimate destiny of humanity. The Bible contains several references that can be interpreted in the context of natural phenomena affecting the earth, which some believe could include severe solar storms. In the Gospel of Luke, Jesus mentions signs in the heavens that will precede the end times. There will be signs in the sun, moon, and stars. On the earth, nations will be in anguish and perplexity at the roaring and tossing of the sea. Luke 21, verse 25. This verse suggests that celestial events, possibly including solar storms, could be seen as part of the broader set of signs indicating the approach of significant eschatological events. Additionally, the book of Revelation contains vivid imagery describing cosmic disturbances that many interpret as signs of the end times. Revelation 6, verses 12 to 14 states, "I watched as he opened the sixth seal. There was a great earthquake. The sun turned black like sackcloth made of goat hair. The whole moon turned blood red, and the stars in the sky fell to earth as figs drop from a fig tree when shaken by a strong wind. The heavens receded like a scroll being rolled up, and every mountain and island was removed from its place." While these descriptions are apocalyptic and symbolic, they resonate with the idea of severe disruptions in the natural world, which could include extreme solar activity. Today's severe G4 geomagnetic storm conditions, as reported by NOAA scientists, add a contemporary layer to these biblical interpretations. With several additional Earth-directed coronal mass ejections, CMEs, in transit to Earth's outer atmosphere, it is highly likely that geomagnetic storming will persist through the weekend. This storm, caused by a large, complex sunspot cluster, NOAA region 3664, which has grown to 17 times the diameter of Earth, underscores the magnitude of solar activity currently affecting our planet. The history of such storms, including the G4 storm on March 23, 2024, and the G5. Halloween storms in October 2003, which caused significant disruptions, highlights the potential severity of these events. The potential impacts of a geomagnetic storm of this magnitude on our technology-dependent society are profound. Voltage control problems, intensified induced pipeline currents, and surface charging of low Earth orbit satellites are just some of the issues that could arise. Modern infrastructure, such as power grids and satellite navigation systems, could experience significant disruptions, highlighting our vulnerability to such natural phenomena. Eclipses have long been viewed as significant omens in many cultures, often associated with dramatic changes or portents of future events. The Bible itself contains references to eclipses and darkening of celestial bodies. In Matthew 24, verse 29, Jesus says, "Immediately after the distress of those days, the sun will be darkened, and the moon will not give its light. The stars will fall from the sky, and the heavenly bodies will be shaken." This passage, like those in Luke and Revelation, points to celestial disturbances as harbingers of the end times. The upcoming eclipse on April 8th, which will be visible across a wide swath of the Earth, adds another layer of interest. For those who view such events through the lens of biblical prophecy, this eclipse could be seen as another sign aligning with the scriptural warnings of celestial changes. One of the most visually stunning aspects of severe geomagnetic storms is the appearance of auroras, commonly known as the northern lights. Typically confined to polar regions, these displays of light are caused by charged particles from the sun interacting with the Earth's magnetic field. However, during periods of intense solar activity, auroras can become visible much farther from the poles. The anticipation of magnificent nighttime auroras, visible as far south as Florida and Texas, adds a visual and awe-inspiring dimension to the event, reminiscent of the wonders in the heavens spoken of in Joel. Joel 2 verses 30 to 31 states, "I will show wonders in the heavens and on the earth, blood and fire and billows of smoke. The sun will be turned to darkness and the moon to blood before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord." This passage is often cited in discussions about cosmic events and their potential implications for humanity's future, reinforcing the idea that solar storms and other celestial phenomena could be seen as fulfilling biblical prophecy. As scientists monitor the severity of the current geomagnetic storm, with predictions of a potential cannibal CME amplifying the impact, the biblical imagery of celestial signs becomes even more poignant. The term cannibal CME refers to a situation where a subsequent coronal mass ejection overtakes and merges with one that was ejected earlier, potentially increasing the strength of the resulting geomagnetic storm. This phenomenon underscores the extraordinary level of solar activity currently being observed and adds a layer of urgency to the scientific community's efforts to understand and mitigate the impacts. The convergence of scientific observations and biblical prophecy invites a deeper reflection on the interconnectedness of natural phenomena and spiritual significance. While scientists rely on empirical data and predictive models, those who study eschatology view these same events through the lens of faith, seeking to understand how modern occurrences might align with ancient prophecies. The potential impacts of such a geomagnetic storm are vast. For instance, increased solar activity can lead to voltage control problems in power grids, which could result in widespread power outages. Intensified induced pipeline currents can accelerate corrosion in oil and gas pipelines, leading to potential leaks or failures. Surface charging of low Earth orbit satellites can disrupt communications and navigation systems, affecting everything from GPS services to satellite-based internet. The historical context of these events, such as the 1859 Carrington event, which disrupted global communications and set telegraph stations on fire, serves as a stark reminder of the potential severity of geomagnetic storms. The memory of the G5 Halloween storms in October 2003, which caused significant disruptions to power grids and satellite operations, further highlights the vulnerability of our modern infrastructure. The biblical call to vigilance and preparedness resonates strongly in light of these potential disruptions. Jesus' warning in Luke 21, verse 36, "Be always on the watch, and pray that you may be able to escape all that is about to happen, and that you may be able to stand before the Son of Man," underscores the importance of being spiritually prepared for the end times. The convergence of natural phenomena and biblical prophecy serves as a reminder to maintain a state of spiritual readiness. Throughout history, celestial events have often been interpreted as forms of divine communication. In ancient times, eclipses, comets, and unusual planetary alignments were seen as messages from the gods or as signs of impending change. The Bible, too, is replete with references to celestial phenomena as indicators of divine will or impending judgment. In the context of eschatology, geomagnetic storms can be seen as part of the broader tapestry of signs and wonders predicted in the Bible. The dramatic visual effects of auroras, visible far beyond their usual range, can be interpreted as manifestations of the wonders in the heavens described in Joel 2 verses 30 to 31. The increased solar activity and its potential impacts on modern technology can be seen as a reminder of humanity's vulnerability and the need for spiritual vigilance. The symbolism of darkness and light is a recurring theme in biblical prophecy. The darkening of the sun and moon, as mentioned in Matthew 24, verse 29 and Revelation 6, verse 12, can be seen as symbolic of the spiritual darkness that will precede the return of Christ. Conversely, the appearance of auroras, with their magnificent displays of light, can be seen as a reminder of the divine light that will ultimately overcome the darkness. In understanding geomagnetic storms and their potential impacts, it is essential to consider how these events fit into the broader narrative of end times prophecy. The warnings and alerts issued by NOAA and other official sources serve as modern-day equivalents of the biblical call to vigilance and preparedness. By staying informed and taking appropriate precautions, we can minimize the storm's impact on our modern way of life. Equally important is the need for spiritual preparedness. The Bible encourages believers to remain vigilant and to seek a deeper relationship with God in anticipation of the end times. The signs in the heavens, whether they be solar storms, eclipses, or unusual auroral displays, serve as reminders of the need for spiritual readiness. The convergence of scientific observations and biblical prophecy also underscores the importance of community and faith. In times of uncertainty and disruption, the support of a faith community can provide strength and encouragement. The biblical call to encourage one another and build each other up, 1 Thessalonians 5, verse 11, is especially relevant in the face of potential natural disasters. The occurrence of severe geomagnetic storms, the April 8th eclipse, and the unprecedented visibility of the northern lights in tropical zones can be seen as a powerful convergence of science and faith, inviting both practical and spiritual reflection. As we navigate these extraordinary events, it is essential to balance our understanding of the scientific implications with the spiritual significance that many attribute to such phenomena. The modern scientific community continues to advance our knowledge of geomagnetic storms and their potential impacts on technology and infrastructure. Meanwhile, those who interpret these events through a biblical lens are prompted to reflect on their spiritual meaning and the prophetic messages they may carry. This dual perspective not only broadens our understanding, but also prepares us to face the future with both practical measures and spiritual readiness.
If you enjoyed this video and want more insights into Bible prophecy, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Stay tuned for more enlightening discussions. Until next time, keep seeking the truth.